Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck, and every so often I create a recipe that I actually get mad at myself because I didn't think about doing this prior to writing the 4 Instant Pot cookbooks I've written. These are the 4 books right here. So, you ever heard of a spinach artichoke dip? Of course you have. If you've been to an American establishment, that's a very common thing to get as an appetizer. So I took that once and I made my spinach and artichoke chicken, which is basically the dip. It turned into a sauce and then draped over chicken, and it's amazing. But then I said to myself, why don't we turn this into a chowder? And I am telling you right now, it is so good. It's gonna make you talk a little louder. This is next level stuff right here, and it's also one of the quickest and easiest things. No sauteing. This is a dump and go recipe. We're gonna go right to the Instant Pot, and I'm gonna show you how to make the most luscious, dreamy, creamy, cheesy spinach and artichoke chowder within minutes. In fact, it's so simple to make, let's make it. So this is what you would want to call a dump and go recipe, making it a super simple recipe because there's no sauteing ahead of time. Even though sauteing is not hard, it can also take a little bit of time sometimes. So in this situation, it's eliminated completely. We're going to begin with 4 cups of a broth of your choice. I'm using garlic broth. That's a better than bouillon garlic base. 4 teaspoons of the garlic base plus 4 cups of water equals 4 cups of garlic broth. But you can also just use any broth you want. Chicken broth, whatever flavor you wish, vegetable, go for it. But it will impact the color of the soup, so just be mindful of that. I'm also going to add in 1.5 pounds of some baby potatoes, and these are just your classic baby potatoes that are creamer potatoes, and all I did was leave the skins on, just gave them a quick little wash, and then basically quarter them, or you can cut them into like 1/6. It depends on how large they are. Pieces about this are good. You want it to be like nice and rustic. You can also totally use Idaho or russet potatoes and peel them and then dice them into bite-sized pieces, but I like to have the skins on in this one. Add that to the pot, and then I'm gonna top it off with, you guessed it, some spinach. You can use regular spinach or baby spinach, it really doesn't matter. We wanna use 1 pound of it, so 2 8-ounce bags will do the trick. And we're gonna add all the spinach to the pot, and it's gonna feel like a lot. It is going to feel like a lot. We're gonna push it down, we're not gonna stir it in. That's 1 bag. And here's the 2nd bag. I know it seems like insane how much spinach we're putting in here. 1 pound is a lot, but it cooks down into absolutely nothing, and I do mean nothing. It's gonna come right to the brim. This is a 6-quart pot. If you have an 8-quart, it's gonna give you a little bit more leeway, but we're fine. It's fine that it comes up to the brim, because like I said, it's gonna cook down to nothing. I'm gonna secure my lid, make sure the valve is in the sealing position. And I'm going to come down to my control panel and hit the pressure cook or manual button depending on your model. And I want to go for this for 5 minutes at high pressure. If your model has a start button, hit that to start the function. If it doesn't, after a few moments of doing nothing, it'll go into the setting itself. While the soup is pressure cooking, I want to create a thickening agent for this soup, which is going to come in very handy, especially for a chowder-like consistency, and that's done with a cornstarch slurry. A slurry will thicken in a hurry. I'm taking 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of cold water, and I'm going to combine the 2, and I'm going to stir them together until they go from a thick consistency here to a nice, smooth one. All right, perfect. That's a slurry. I'm going to set that aside. And now that we're done pressure cooking, we're going to perform a quick release. And the pin just dropped, so I'm going to take the lid off my pot. And would you look at that, I told you, the spinach wilts down into nothing. Now we're going to stir everything up, and we're going to give this some heat and bring it to a bubble. Now I'll come back down to our control panel and hit the cancel button, and then we want to hit the saute button. Where are you? There you are. They're in different spots in all the models. And I just want to make sure I'm at the temperature is high here, the high setting, and again hit the start button. We want to bring this to a bubble. And once our pot is bubbling, which is going to happen very quickly, we're going to take that cornstarch slurry, and we're going to watch this chowder thicken in a hurry. I'm going to stir that in and let it bubble for about 30 seconds, and you'll see it'll instantly thicken up. Next up, I want to add in 2 cups of heavy cream. You can also use half and half, or half of each. A package of an herb cheese, like Boursin, Alouette, or you can make my own garlic herb cheese, which I'll link in the recipe. About 3/4 of a cup of that if you're making your own. And I know this seems like a lot, but 4 cups, or 1 pound of shredded cheese. It wouldn't be spinach and artichoke dip without cheese. And for this I'm using 2 cups of mozzarella that's shredded up, Look at that, better lighting. And then 2 cups of a cheddar jack blend, but you can use all of mozzarella if you want instead. And then I'm going to stir in my cheeses, and now we're seeing a fabulous spinach and artichoke-like consistency here, right? Just stir this for about a minute or 2 while it's bubbling, and you're gonna have all the cheese meld into the amazing chowder. It's chowder at this point. Thick and dreamy and creamy. Now in this stage I also like to add in about 1 to 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. You can add it to taste, start with 1 teaspoon and then add more if you want to add more. I feel like 1 teaspoon is personally enough, but everyone's taste buds are different. All right, and we are looking good. And then we're gonna hit cancel to turn that off. And lastly, it's not gonna be spinach and artichoke chowder without the artichokes. I'm using 2 14-ounce cans of artichokes that were already quartered, and I just drained the cans and I ripped them up by hand, and voila, there you have it. I'm gonna add these into my chowder. This is loaded, my friends. And now we're gonna stir the artichokes into our chowder. This is gonna be one for the ages. I wish I had thought of this one before I did my other books, honestly. And now this chowder is absolutely ready to serve. And as a bonus, I'm gonna show you how to do this in 2 ways. So the first way is gonna be in a classic bowl like such. And because spinach and artichoke is typically served as a dip with tortilla chips, why not get some tortilla strips? You can find this in the salad section of your market, and then just top it off with some of them. And that is one way to serve it. And as for the other, get out a baking sheet, place a French onion soup crock with the chowder in it. Feel free to top it with some more tortilla chips if you wish as a foundation. You don't have to do that though. And then we're gonna top it with some sliced Munster or mozzarella cheese. I'm using 3 slices because why not? Let's just go a little crazy. I also like to make sure it's nicely over the edges so it drips over the edge a bit. And I'm just gonna pop this in the oven and then bring it right out real quick and under broil. Keep an eye on it. And there we go. I broiled it for about 3 minutes. Every broiler is going to be different, and look at this. A spinach and artichoke chowder with a cheesy top. So when it comes down to serving it, the choice is yours. If you want to do it like this, great, it's going to be incredible. And if you want to just, you know, give it that extra wow factor, use a French onion soup crock, put some cheese on top, and then broil it. And here it is, my friends, the chowder. Let's give it a try. Oh my gosh, it is so rich and creamy, just like a chowder should be. Got those tortilla strips, the potatoes, the artichokes, the spinach. Here we go. Okay. This is one of those things, like I said when I started this video, that I'm angry that it's not in a book, or one of my books. Because this is next level stuff. This soup is truly like, if you love a spinach and artichoke dip and you love chowders, you just found your new favorite soup. The flavors are everything in this thing. You saw, we barely seasoned it. I just added a little bit of garlic salt at the end to it. And you could do that to taste, really. Start with a teaspoon and then you could add more to taste if you want. In terms of the thickness of the chowder, I think it's the perfect chowder consistency. Look at this, it's perfect. But if you want it a little thinner, you can just add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch plus 2 tablespoons of water. It's equal parts to form the slurry versus 3 of each. You know what I mean? If you want it even thinner than that, just do 1 tablespoon of each. You know what I mean? You could always start with less and then add more. It's harder to go back the other way unless you add more liquid, you know? It is unbelievable. It is loaded. It is beautiful. This is something that is just comfort. Something fly out of my mouth. Comfort. It is amazing. Definitely get the tortilla strips. It's a nice touch to have a little bit of crunch in there with it. It's lovely. And again, you can totally do it in a crock style. Look at that. Have the cheese drapes over the edges. It's gorgeous. And just like, look at all the cheese, please. Will you look at that? Hello. Whichever way you're gonna go. I promise you, you'll love it so. So baked or just in a bowl, this dish is on a roll. I guess so am I with the rhymes, huh? Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said before, I like the Instant Pot. I use it for a lot of recipes. It makes soups incredibly, and especially potatoes. It made those potatoes like butter. super fast with still a nice little bit of a bite in there. My books are sold anywhere they're sold, basically. Anywhere books are sold. You can get them online at the big box stores. You can get them at your local indie bookstore. Just have them order it if it's not in there. If you want to support local, Facebook.com/PressureLawCooking. Make sure you give that page a like when you check it out. And have a lot of information in there. I always share new recipes, deals on items, things to make you laugh, anything like that. At Pressure Law Cooking and any of the other socials, like my YouTube channel, definitely subscribe to that because every recipe that I have, like this one, the videos will live there. And Instagram, same, and all that other fun stuff. Thank you so much again for watching, my friends. And hey, the next time you want to make a meal that's going to impress everybody, from family to your blokes, well, make a chowder that's loaded with spinach and artichokes. Enjoy. Amazing.